Yo, yo, yo. It's your big brothers. You got Glenn Lawrence and you got the Hudsman. And we got a quick one for you today. So the topic is, why is it important for men to spin plates? Now, spinning plates, if you guys don't understand what that term means, it's a term that I don't want to say Rollo Tomasi coined it, but I know he has mentioned it many times before in the Rational Male book series.
And it's a metaphor, just so you can visualize it, of like the circus. If you've ever seen at the circus,
you see the clown or whoever it is spinning plates on sticks or twigs or whatever. He's spinning multiple plates on these pieces of stick, and they're like, wow, that's cool. Like, that's spinning plates. And essentially what it means is to allow yourself to have as much opportunity and options and experiences with women, different women, possible. Because what happens is what a lot of guys do is that they have very little experience with women when it comes to relationships or interactions. So what happens is they meet that first one that gives them attention, and all of a sudden she must be the one and only person for him. And then he gets one-nightish for her, and he doesn't really understand that other women could be acting differently or different things that have other varieties. And he ends up putting all his investments in this one woman and not taking the time to learn about other women and other things that involves dating and options that are out there. And that ends up being very detrimental if the relationship doesn't work out in the end. And, you always want to put yourself in a position where you have options. Having options is the most powerful thing that you could have when it comes to life. If you are wanting to talk about financial security, you want to be having financial freedom options to where that you could do things when you want to do things, and you're not stuck to having to live in a structured budget because you only make so much.
I want to just hop in there. Like, I experienced that myself. I just moved, and during my move, there were a couple different things that happened where I had to pull out money from investments to make it work. But because I have different revenue streams, I was able to do so. If I didn't have that, I'm completely screwed.
Yeah. So spinning plates, you can look at it as in other areas other than dating, but basically, essentially what it means is putting yourself in a position to where that you have other options. You have multiple options to choose from. And when it comes to dating women, or interacting with women or getting to know women, the more interactions and the more opportunities you have experienced, the better you are when it comes to being able to deal with women or understanding how women behave and whatnot. And it also gives you other options to choose from.
It gives you the opportunity to pick the best possible.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys are not used to that. See, guys tend to, don't really have options. They get the girl that gives them attention, and that's the only option that they, that's the only option they pursue, because they are very what's the mindset? They feel like they're not going to have it anymore. They don't have. It's not enough. It's a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So instead of abundance,
which means the opposite.
Like, think about it this way. Exactly what you're saying. Think about it this way. A lot of guys are out there, and they're not understanding that these women that they're meeting, these women that they're dating, before they become serious, these women have many, many guys hitting them up all the time. These women are doing this, and I think a lot of times they do it subconsciously, but at the same time, they're doing it because they want the best option. And if you're focusing and honing in on one girl, you're not going to get the best. You're just going to get whatever is right there in front of you.
And you're not challenging her to give you the best either. When a woman doesn't see a threat, that she doesn't have, if a woman doesn't feel that she is at risk of losing you, then there's no motivation for her to provide you the best. Okay. And it's kind of, every woman needs a little bit of dread in a relationship, and that kind of speaks to that. But
We got to talk about Dread Game at some point.
when it comes to having options, you want options in life, in every area of your life. Okay. You want to have options to have multiple revenue streams, not just the 9 to 5 that you work. You have a lot of options of entertainment and hobbies, right? You don't just, have one. We all like to have options. So when it comes to when you're dating, make sure you date and have options, and make sure you have different experiences with different women. Now, I'm not saying that spinning plates means you have to bang all these women. Just because you might be spinning 5 plates doesn't mean you should be banging all 5 of them. And a lot of people kind of think that that's what that means, but it doesn't. It means that you have this woman's attention and interaction, and you have her interest. So you want to have multiple women's interests all at the same time, meaning you have a lot of options. And it's important for guys to do that because it gives them real world experience. You learn from mistakes, you learn from your failures in relationships and your successes. So, the more practice you have, with women and interacting with women, the better you could potentially be when it comes to dealing with these issues. And you'll be more aware.
Especially when we talk about like spinning plates, you're trying samples. You're at Costco. You're trying a bunch of different samples. And you want to make sure that if that sample isn't the exact flavor that you wanted, that you have another one there. You have another one there. You have another one there. Instead of wholly investing in the first girl that's paying attention to you and you're going on dates with, and then it doesn't work out, and then you got nothing afterwards. And how do you even know what flavor you want?
Yeah, I mean, unless you have a lot of experience dealing with, it's like driving a car, right? If the only car you have available to you is this beat up clunker, well, you're going to love that beat up clunker because that's your only option.
It's your baby.
Yeah, but once you get yourself to a position where you don't have to just have that beat up clunker, you could get another car or get a Honda or get a Ford. Now you have options. Now you can see, well, you know what? Is this clunker worth, keeping, or should I look elsewhere? And that's important for, guys to have. But let's make sure that we're not mistaking spinning plates for relationships. Spinning plates is basically dating non-exclusively, meaning you are not in a committed relationship with any of your plates. You are in the vetting process.
Testing the waters.
Yep, you're just seeing how things go. You're not committing to any one of these plates that you have. But when you do commit, all right, and I don't know if other people will say this, but I'm a firm believer if you do commit, you are now dropping those plates, the other plates that you were spinning, because your commitment level is going to also require you to invest in that relationship. And you cannot invest properly into that relationship if you're still giving your time and investment elsewhere. You can't expect this relationship to really grow if you're still spinning all these plates. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Do you have a different opinion in that?
No, you and I come from the same thought process. I think that if you want to have a relationship where you're going to be seeing multiple people, that needs to be explained. Otherwise, hell, I think that we all want families. We all want to have kids. And the only way to do that is by dropping those other plates. I mean, that's what I had to do in my relationship. The one that I take very seriously is, I had such these sexy Brazilians that I had, and they treated me so right. One of them brought me sushi one night, the first date that we had. That was absolutely phenomenal. But all right, I digress. Um,
Yeah,
but
Holland.
yeah,
You make better food, and he doesn't think about the sushi at all anymore.
that's I mean I think about it, but yeah, my sweetheart is my sweetheart. She does it even better, and she listens and makes it better every day. But that's the thing. It's like, once you get to that point and you want to commit, you got to drop things unless you're going to have that other conversation. And quite honestly, I don't think any of us. I know, like, we talk about monogamy or like cheating and everything else. Quite honestly, once you click, I think it's kind of what we're all looking for because it's stability and safety.
Yeah, and I mean, the we're talking about relationship things, but like, there's always these alternative relationships that we hear about, and there's a lot of guys in this space that have a very different relationship design than the majority of us do, and because they have those relationship things, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to, and it doesn't necessarily mean it will work for you. Okay, you may think you may want that, but until you're actually in that scenario where you're able to do those things, you may find out that you can't handle what that requires of you, because that is a very delicate kind of relationship that is very fragile at certain times, and you have to be in tune with that. And I just don't think that type of stress is something a lot of guys really want when they think about it. I think most guys just
Not
want
even that maybe they don't want. I don't think that they can manage. I mean, that's
oh yeah,
masterful game right there.
I mean, that's really taking on a lot. I mean, think about it this way. If you're married or you've been in a relationship for any length of time, when you're with your wife or girlfriend, they require a lot from you. All that attention and that neediness. They need that comfort. They need to feel that love from you. And that could be taxing at times. You have a lot of other things you have to do on top of that. Now try to do that with multiple people. Think about Christmases, anniversary. How many guys? I know a lot of guys struggle remembering their own anniversary. Imagine having multiple relationships.
Mine's August 20th. When's yours?
September 3rd.
Oh wow! Look at you.
Yeah. Okay, you know how I know it? It's my sister's birthday, so that's how I get away with it. But most guys were not even capable of remembering their own anniversary. So try to memorize 3 or remember 3 or 4 of them. That whatever. But
it's not worth the headache, especially when you're on your purpose in life. If your purpose in life is just dating women, then I guess, but you don't make money dating women. So
unless you're the Tinder swindler. But you're right. Most guys just want to have one relationship. They just want to find somebody to be in a relationship with and have a good relationship with. And I think, there's a small group of people that are about that other life, and that's great. But then there's even a smaller group that follows them that want to be like them that are louder than those guys. Because, you hear a lot of guys talking about like high value guys should be able to cheat and have multiple, relationships. And I understand that in theory, but I don't necessarily understand it in some areas.
I'm right there with you. I'm actually I'm in the camp that kind of really disagrees with that thought process.
And I know from a religious standpoint, yes, they had polygamy. Husbands had multiple wives. A lot of the times they it was more inherited. Like their brother died, and they had to take over their brother's position and take care of the wife, so they would inherit the wife. But we don't live in a time where that's really practical or something that's really supported. So I think, look, if to each is their own. If you want to have multiple women, great, that's your thing. But I think the first step that anybody, even if the guys that want to have multiple women want, the first step is getting into a relationship with one woman and then growing from there. But like I said, the spinning plates and relationships are two completely different things.
Correct, correct. And I think we can wrap up kind of on that. And that's what I wanted to pull it back to myself. It's like when you're buying a new car, you're not just going to test drive one, you're going to test drive multiple. If you're going to Costco and you want to try some of the appetizers and the free samples that they have sitting out, you're not going to pick the first one just because you liked it. I mean, how much did you really like it? You need to see the field. You need to understand. And when you balance some of those things in that dating process, then you end up with the one that you actually wanted. Got anything else to say on it, Glenn?
Nope, I think you nailed it, man. But I think the next time we talk about plates, because we'll do a follow up on this one, guys. The follow up will be, because now we just told you the importance of spinning plates. We'll talk to you guys about how to do it properly.
I
Stay
like to
tuned.
talk for days. Peace, guys.